Build your dreams, live rich, and leave
So,
rich.
what if being rich had nothing to do with flashy cars or big houses? What if it was really about living a secure, balanced, and, a genuinely stress free life? Today, let's talk about how smart financial planning can build a future where your money is finally working for you instead of the other way around. Does this sound a little too familiar? You're working harder than ever, but it feels like the cost of everything, from the groceries to your kids' school fees, is just shooting up. Your salary, on the other hand, feels kind of stuck. And that money you're trying so hard to save, it just isn't growing. It's a story so many of us know, but it really doesn't have to be your story. This leads to a really strange situation, a trap that so many of us fall into. It's called being asset rich, but cash poor. What does that mean? Well, on paper, you look great, you might own a home or a piece of land, but when a real emergency strikes or a big expense like a wedding comes up, poof, there's just no liquid cash. It's this incredibly frustrating feeling of being rich and poor at the exact same time. Okay, so how do we get out of this trap? Well, for a lot of people, the answer is a simple but powerful tool called a mutual fund. Just think of it like this. It's a big basket where lots of people, just like you, pool their money together. Then, a professional invests that money across a whole bunch of different companies and bonds. The magic is, you're instantly diversified. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Here's my favorite way to think about it. Imagine the stock market is just like the chaotic, horn-blaring traffic in a big city. Seriously, trying to drive through that yourself? It's stressful, it's confusing, and it can be pretty risky. A mutual fund, on the other hand, is like buying a ticket for a nice, comfortable, air-conditioned bus. You just get on, find a seat, and let a professional do all the driving for you. So let's just lay it out side by side. Investing in individual stocks, that's you driving solo. You're the one gripping the steering wheel, trying to read the map, dealing with all the stress, and taking on all the risk. Now, with a mutual fund, you've got a professional driver, the fund manager, who knows the roads and navigates all the tough spots for you. It really is a choice between stress and convenience, between doing it all yourself and hiring an expert. All right, so sticking with our bus analogy for a minute, it's really important to know that not all buses are created equal, right? You've got your local buses, your express buses, your fancy long-distance coaches. In the same way, there are different types of mutual funds, and each one is built for a very different kind of journey. So let's break it down real quick. Equity funds, those are your express buses, designed for long-term wealth creation. They'll get you there faster, but yeah, the ride can get a little bumpy. Then you have debt funds. Think of these as your steady, reliable city buses, perfect for shorter goals where you need stability. Hybrid funds are a mix of both, and index funds are like a simple, low-cost bus that just follows the main market route. The most important thing is to pick the right bus for your destination. Okay, knowing the type of bus you need is a great start, but how do you pick the specific one? I mean, you wouldn't just hop on any random bus that pulls up, would you? Of course not. You'd check a few things first. So let's look at what you should check before you invest in a mutual fund. Now, it is so tempting to just look at a fund that did great last year and jump in. But that is a huge mistake. You've got to look under the hood. What's the expense ratio? Basically, the annual fee for your bus ticket. Who's the driver? The fund manager. And have they been doing a good job for a long time? And here's the big one. How consistent has it been over 3, 5, even 10 years, especially in bad weather? Even the AUM, or total money in the fund, tells you how many other people trust this bus. And the big question, what kind of returns can you actually expect? Let's be totally realistic here. While some years might be fantastic, a reasonable, healthy, long-term average from equity funds is somewhere in the ballpark of 12 to 14%. This isn't about getting rich overnight, it's about steadily building your wealth over time. But, and this is a big but, the journey will absolutely not be a straight line. The market will go up and it will go down. The absolute #1 secret to success is discipline. When you invest a fixed amount every month through an SIP, you have to keep going, especially when the market is down. I know it's scary, but that's actually when your money is buying more units. It's like everything's on sale. Wealth really does grow slowly at first, and then, suddenly, all at once. Now, let's quickly talk about the things that can completely derail your journey. These are the big mistakes to avoid. #1, the cardinal sin, panicking and stopping your SIP when the market falls. Other big traps are
chasing last year's top performer, investing with no real goal in mind, and just forgetting that inflation is this silent thief, constantly eating away at the value of any cash you have just sitting around.
All right, enough with the theory. It's much easier to see how this all works in the real world. So let's look at two real-life scenarios that show the incredible difference between doing things the right way and the wrong way. So first up, let's meet Arjun. He's a salaried professional, and his situation is probably pretty similar to a lot of ours. He's got a steady job, a family to support, and he wants to build a secure future. Now, Arjun has two roads he can take. On the left, you have the road of anxiety. This is where he puts his money in low-return FDs, chases random hot tips from his friends, and sells everything in a panic when the market gets shaky. The road on the right, though, is the road of discipline. Here, every investment is tied to a goal, he stays consistent, he has an emergency fund, and he uses the right tool for the right job. So, what's the actual difference between these two paths? Well, after just 10 years, the difference isn't small. It's absolutely life-changing. We are talking about creating potentially 70 lakh rupees, more wealth. That right there is the staggering power of having a smart strategy versus just making random emotional decisions. Okay, let's take another look, this time at a business family. Their challenge is a little different, isn't it? Their income isn't fixed, it goes up and down with the business. And that can make financial planning feel, well, pretty chaotic. And again, we see two paths. The path of chaos is full of stress. They invest a big chunk of money only when business is booming, and then they're forced to sell their investments when cash flow gets tight. But the path of stability is completely different. Here, they keep small, consistent SIPs going. They use a liquid fund as a financial shock absorber for the business, and they invest extra cash when they can. The result? It's not just about more money. It's about something far more valuable: financial stability and real peace of mind. So, are you ready to actually put this into practice, like today? Let's walk through a super simple 5-step action plan. And I'm serious, if you just do these 5 things, you will be financially ahead of almost everyone around you. It all kicks off with step 1, have a goal. Don't just invest for the sake of it, know exactly why you're putting your money away. Step 2 flows right from that. Match the tool to the goal. Simple. Equity for the long haul, debt for your short-term needs. Step 3 is your financial seatbelt. Build that emergency fund. Then, step 4 is the real engine for growth. Stay consistent, no matter what. And finally, step 5 is for your own sanity. Stop checking your portfolio every day. Just give it a checkup once a year to make sure you're still on the right track. Phew, we've covered a ton of ground. So let's boil it all down to the most important points. Think of these as your 5 guiding stars on your path to living a truly rich, secure life. If you remember nothing else, please remember these 5 things. First, mutual funds are a tool to help you live rich, with peace and clarity. Second, always use the right tool for the job. Equity is for growth, debt is for stability. Third, the secret to making money with SIPs is discipline, not trying to time the market. Fourth, stop chasing last year's hot returns and start chasing your own financial goals. And finally, and this might be the most important one, consistency will always, always beat intelligence in the investing world. And I just want to leave you with one final thought. You see, true wealth isn't really measured by the number of crores in your bank account. It's measured in time. Time to live your life on your own terms. Time to be with your family. Time without financial stress. The real question you should ask yourself is this: how much time is your money buying you?